Hi everyone, today I'm going to discuss three topics: a simple interest and simple discount, the compound interest, and the basic concept of mortgage and stocks. First, let's talk about simple interest and simple discount. Simple interest is the interest charged on the principal alone for the entire duration or period of the loan and investment at a particular rate. The formula in getting the interest is I is equals to P times R times T, where I is the interest, P is the principal, R is the rate of interest, T is the time, and F is the future value. In this slide, I will show you the other related formulas. Future value or maturity value is computed by getting the sum of the principal and the interest due. In computing the principal, you can either divide the interest over rate times time or deduct the interest to the final value. To derive the time, interest is divided by the principal times rate. When the given is in months, we need to convert it in year. So we will just divide it in 12. To derive the rate, divide the interest over principal times time. In computing the rate, the percentage should be converted to decimal. Now let me show you some illustration in solving the principal, rate, time, and interest. For problem number 1, let us compute the principal using the formula principal is equals to interest over rate times time. The given information are rate, which is 2.5%, time is 3 months, and the interest is 1,500 pesos. Now, let's substitute the formula with the given information. So, principal is equals to 1,500 over 0.025 times 3. So, the principal amount is 20,000. Please remember to convert the percentage rate to decimal number for easier computation. Now, for number 2, let's compute the rate using the formula rate is equals to interest over principal multiplied by time. Given our interest 5,250, principal is 54,000 and time which is 2 months. Again, let's substitute the formula with the given information. So rate is equals to 5,250 over 54,000 times 2.5. So the rate is 0.04 or 4%. Now for number 3, let's compute the time using the formula time is equals to interest over principal times rate. The given information are interest 375, principal 350,000, and rate which is 0.50%. Now let's substitute the formula with the given information. So time is equals to 375 over 350,000 0.005. So the time is 0.21 years. Now let's proceed to sample computation of interest. The formula for the interest is principal times rate times time. The given information are principal 450,000, rate is 10%, and time which is 8 years. Again, let's substitute the formula so the interest is equals to 450,000 times 0.9 times 8, so the interest is 360,000 pesos. Next is simple discount. Discounting is the process of determining the present value of any amount due in the future. To discount the amount of future value for years means to solve by applying the formula. Let's solve this exercise using the formula above. Discount 5,000 for 10 months at 14.25%. Substitute the formula with the given amounts. By using the formula, present value is equal to face amount over 1 plus rate times time. The computation would be present value is equals to 5,000 over 1 plus 0.1425 times 10 divided by 12. So 5,000 over 1.11875 is equals to 4,469.27, which is the discounted amount. We are done with the simple interest. Now we will focus on compound interest as another type. Compound interest is the interest resulting from the periodic addition of the simple interest to the principal. When interest is periodically added to the principal and this new sum is used as the new principal for a certain number of periods, the resulting value is called the final or compound amount and designated by F. Compounding or conversion period is the time between successive interest computations. Annually is 1 month, semi-annually is 2 months, quarterly is 4 months, and monthly is 12 months. The number of conversion periods for 1 year is denominated by M, while the total number of conversion periods for the whole investment term is denominated by N. Conversion periods are usually taken as an exact division of the year such as monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. When the conversion period is annually use 1, if semi-annually use 2, if quarterly use 4, and 12 if it is monthly. To get the total number of conversion periods for the whole term, simply multiply the time or term to the number of conversion period for year. For example, the term is 3 years. Compounded quarterly, we just simply multiply 3 times 4 since it is quarterly, so the total number of conversion period for the whole term is 12. The formula for the compound amount is P times the quantity of 1 plus I raised to n. And to get the compound interest, the formula is F minus P, where F is the final amount, P is the original principal, I is the periodic rate, N is the total number of conversion period for the whole term, I is compound interest, and to better understand, let's solve this problem. Find the compound amount and the compound interest if 10,000 pesos is compounded semi-annually at an interest rate of 2% in 5 years. Given P is equal to 10,000, I is equal to 2% or 0.02, and N is 10. It should be clear to us what are the given before we use it to substitute in the formula. In the problem above, the given is the principal, which is the 10,000, the interest rate, which is 2%. Remember that we must convert it to decimal, so it will be 0.02. And the total conversion period for the whole term is 10, which is computed by multiplying 5 to 2 since it is semi-annually. To compute, let's substitute the given to the formula. First, for the final or compound amount, the formula is final amount is equals to principal times 1 plus the interest raised to the power of n. Principal is 10,000 times the quantity of 1 plus interest, which is 0.02 raised to 10. So, 12,189.94 pesos is the compound amount. Now let us proceed to the last topic, which is the basic concept of mortgage and stocks. To solve problems related to mortgage, we must know the following definition of terms. Amortization method. Method of paying the loan on installment basis. Mortgage. Loan is secured by a collateral paid at specific terms. Chattel mortgage. Mortgage on movable objects. Examples are vehicles. Collateral. Assets used to secure a loan. Outstanding balance. Any remaining debt at a specific time. A loan can be a business loan or a consumer loan. Business loan is a money lent to fund for business transactions which require collateral in forms of real estate or other investment, while Consumer loan is money lent to fund personal expenses which so not usually require collateral. Now, let us solve problem related to business loan and consumer loan. In solving problems on basic loan, we need to use prior knowledge on interest. Number 1, Mr. Gonzaga borrowed 1 million pesos for the expansion of his business. The effective interest rate is 5%. The loan is to be repaid in full after 1 year. How much is to be repaid after 1 year? This problem is treated as a simple interest with 1 year term. Let's substitute the given number in the formula f is equals to principal multiplied by 1 plus interest raised to the power of n. Principal is 1 million times 1 plus the 5% interest rate. The amount to be paid after a year is 1,050,000 pesos. Number 2, if your car was bought for 1,500,000 and the bank required 20% down payment, find the amount of mortgage you took on the bank for your car. First thing to do is to compute the down payment. 1,500,000 times 20% is equals to 300,000. 1,500,000 minus 300,000 is equals to 1,200,000. To get the mortgage, deduct the down payment to the cash value. Let's proceed to stocks. Some corporations may raise money for their expansion by issuing stocks. Stocks are shares in the ownership of the company. Owners of stocks may be considered as part owner of the company. There are two types of stocks, common stocks and preferred stocks. Both will receive dividends, but preferred shareholders will be paid first. These are the definition of terms related to stocks. Stocks, share in the ownership of a company. Dividend, share in the company. Dividend per share, ratio of the dividends to the number of shares. Stock market, a place where stocks can be bought and sold. Market value, the current price of a stock at which it can be sold. Stock yield ratio, ratio of the annual dividend per share and the market value per share, also called current stock yield. Par value, the per share amount as stated on the company's certificate. Now, let's answer these examples related to stocks. A certain financial institution declared a 20 million dividend for the common stocks. If there are a total of 500,000 shares of common stocks, how much is the dividend per share? The total dividend is given, which is 20 million, and the total shares is 500,000. To get the dividend per share, we will just simply divide the total dividend of 20 million to 500,000 total shares. Therefore, the dividend per share is 40 pesos. A certain corporation declared a 5% dividend on a stock with a par value of 300 pesos. Mr. Gomez owns 200 shares of stocks with a par value of 300 pesos. How much is the dividend he received? To find the dividend per share in this example, multiply the par value of 300 to the dividend percentage, which is 5%. Therefore, the dividend per share is 15. And just multiply the dividend per share of 15 to the number of shares owned by Mr. Gomez, which is 200. Thus, the amount he received is 3,000 pesos. That's my discussion about simple interest and simple discount, compound interest, and the basic concept of mortgage and stocks. Thank you.